What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Today, we're talking about a potential signing that the Maple Leafs could make for this season, but the player wouldn't show up on the team until next year. So we're going to look into that right now. So if you're new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Join the squad. I'd love to have you guys here. Thank you so much for coming here and supporting the video. But today we're going to be talking about the Maple Leafs' interest in a KHL goal scorer, and that's Maxim Piluk. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly, but Maxim Piluk is actually a goal scorer. The guy puts up a lot of numbers. He plays the wing, and I believe the Leafs have been talking to see if he would be available to play center as well. But we'll look here, an article from Nick Barden and coming from Joshua of The Athletic here, looking into some information. The Maple Leafs are interested in Maxim Piluk, currently in the KHL and out of contract next season. So apparently there was a little bit of a meeting going on among the topics of conversation that the team had with the agent of Piluk, Alexander Chekrin. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. He said they were talking about whether or not the fit with the Maple Leafs would work and whether he could play center, like I mentioned earlier. Also other topics during the meeting, including the Leafs management selling Piluk on Toronto as a living destination. Now, Piluk's goal scoring total has nearly tripled since last season. He went from 10 goals to now 31. We will look at the numbers and what he's put up, but he's actually at 31 goals now. He's been doing quite well. So definitely a guy that the Maple Leafs should be interested in. So the 25-year-old's 31 goals is the third most in the KHL currently this season. Piluk, since he'd be entering the NHL at 26, is eligible to sign a one-year entry-level contract worth a maximum of $925,000. So this would fit into the Leafs' plan next season to be able to bring up younger forwards and sign cheaper deals to guys that can provide value far past the league minimum contract or that entry-level type deal. Because if Piluk could come in and it translates to the NHL and he scores 20 to 25 goals, that would be incredible. But we have to also look at the other side of this, and it's something that I try to bring up to Maple Leaf fans and hockey fans in general. Just because a KHL forward puts up a bunch of numbers and does really well doesn't mean it's always going to translate to the NHL level, and it's happened many times for the Maple Leafs, including Ilya Mikheyev. Now, he's been a pretty decent player, but you go from a guy being a top scorer in the KHL coming over to the NHL, it doesn't always work. Like I just said, it doesn't always look so good. But the Maple Leafs have a lot of options for next year, and this would be a welcome addition, because then it gives the Leafs the opportunity, if they don't want to re-sign Max Domi maybe as a depth scoring, if they don't want to re-sign him. Maybe Nick Robertson is traded or they move on from him, like a Noah Gregor, a Bobby McMahon. There's so many different names that the Maple Leafs have that there's some question marks beside it. Now, Piluk would also be a question mark, but he has put up pretty good numbers. And again, he's like, 25, 26 years old. And he's been putting up pretty good numbers in his career. Now, you can obviously see as he's gotten a little bit older here, and I'm saying older as if he's old at like 26 years old, but he will be 26 by the time he signs to the NHL. But going from 10 goals to 31 goals is kind of alarming, especially he's done it in less games. Like, the season's not even over yet. He's done quite well. He's like doubling his point total. He looks really good. And again, this is why I'm saying, if you get him scoring anywhere from 10 to 20 goals on an entry-level deal, I don't think the Maple Leafs would complain about that whatsoever, because besides the core four, the Leafs haven't had a ton of depth scoring. They haven't been so good recently, and the Maple Leafs are going to need help in the cap department, but they also need help just scoring. Like, they need guys that are going to come in and score some goals for them. So a guy like Piluk would be a really good addition. I want to show you guys the KHL goal scoring leaders. Now, this hasn't been updated yet, but he did score his 31st, so he is in the top three with former NHLers Reed Boucher and Nikolai Goldobin. So definitely in the company of some good goal scorers here. There's a lot of guys that you see put up huge numbers in the KHL, and like I said, it's like they come over here and their game does translate and they play well. But then you move on from those guys, and you see the long list of guys that it's not the same thing. These guys don't have that goal scoring touch anymore. And from what I've seen from Tiblakov, he looks like he's pretty shifty. He can do a lot of different things. But what I would turn over to you guys here, and this could be a little bit of a discussion here, is would you do something like this? And I know some people are going to say, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Like, just bring him in. It doesn't matter. He'll put up some points. But it takes away a roster spot from somebody that might be more of a guarantee. And I encourage people to go out there and do research on guys like Tiblakov, because it's fun to go out there and see the other side of the world and see what they're doing. But if you're the Maple Leafs and you want that depth scoring, you want that cheaper option next season, is this a guy that you would put in that lineup? Was this a guy that you would think could make a good addition to this Maple Leafs team? Because where would he play? And that's the other thing, playing time. If he's getting much more playing time, and I'm going to see if I can find his average time on ice, but if he's getting more playing time in the KHL and then he comes to Toronto and he doesn't get, those same minutes that he's been getting in the KHL, which sometimes players don't get minutes because of the fact that they played in the NHL, and it's almost like a punishment. I'm not seeing his there's some per game stats here. Let's see. You start to see players not get those minutes that they should be getting. The time on ice totals aren't where I'm looking right now, but you would hope that if he does come over here and he plays similar minutes, that he can give you that same type of production. I don't think this guy's going to come in and score 25 to 30 goals for any NHL team, unless it's the Bruins, because somehow they figure out guys that can come in and score 30 in their sleep. But I think if you got 10 to 20 goals out of this guy playing on a second or third line role, more than likely a third line position, then you're going to be pretty excited, because then you're replacing output of guys that haven't been scoring, like Ryan Reeves, obviously, or Noah Gregor has really cooled off. Bobby McMahon hasn't been getting enough playing time. Nick Robertson has been decent, but again, you want to try to find guys that are going to come in here and give you that guaranteed depth scoring, that guaranteed 10 to 15 goals that you can rely on to put up a couple extra points for your team and not have to rely on your big name players. So let me know what you guys think about Maxim Tiblakov. If you are a fan of the KHL and you're watching this and I've been butchering his name, please tell me in the comments down below. The Maple Leafs are going to be very busy over the next little while. We're getting closer and closer to the NHL trade deadline. So if you're new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Join the squad. I'd love to have you guys here. Again, would you do this? How much do you think he would get? Do you think he'd get that maximum one-year deal for the entry-level contract, $925,000? And whose spot would he be taking? Just leave everything that you guys think down below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video or stream. Maxim Tiblakov. Let's see it. Peace.